Humphreys. The breaking news of the last hour has been City Council President Mary Sheffield is the projected winner in the race for mayor of Detroit.
She is preparing to take the stage to speak with those supporters who have been out there tonight at the MGM Grand supporting her, cheering her on. She's been speaking with the media just a little bit ago, but at some point she is going to take the stage to address the city of Detroit to thank them for their support.
And we have already heard from Solomon Kinlock Jr., the pastor of Triumph Church and Sheffield's opponent in this race. He did make a concession speech and also vowed to continue his efforts to continue to fight the good fight in the city of Detroit.
Yeah, he told his supporters that there is still so much more that needs to be done in terms of reducing crime, adding more affordable housing and quality education for the city of Detroit. Of course, he is the senior pastor of Triumph Church for 27 years. A lot of the people in the audience come from those different ministries that are spread out throughout the metro area, again, supporting him. But he says he will now lead his support to his opponent, who has once again won by a landslide.
And this is really a historic moment for the city of Detroit. Mary Sheffield becomes the first woman of color breaking a glass ceiling of sorts in Detroit politics. And this isn't just a gender shift, but a generational shift, considering her relatively very young age.
Yeah, the second youngest mayor to now take the helm. She says that she is really wanting to separate herself as well from Mayor Duggan. Of course, she's worked very closely with him as the city council president. We've asked her several times about the comparisons that she has, especially with the people who say that more things need to change for the city moving forward. But she said to us repeatedly that she is her own person and she's ready to have that chance to show the voters and supporters here in Detroit what she can do.
Yeah, this will undoubtedly be a new era in Detroit for many reasons. There are many challenges she will face, like any other mayor, but of course some that are unique to this particular point in time. But it really wasn't close. This is by no means a surprise that she won in such a landslide. The primary went in much the same way, and she's a very familiar person in the city of Detroit. Not only does her family go way back with a strong legacy in the civil rights movement through Detroit politics since she entered the city council, but she herself is very well known in the city. You constantly see her at community events, even before she was city council president. So far from a surprise that she won, and apparently in a landslide.
Yeah, and she also has a religious background with her supporters as well, again, with her family and everything that has happened there. And she's inheriting a city that has rebounded from a lot of negative things, but she says that she's excited to be able to show them what she can do. Another race that we're watching is in Dearborn Heights. The candidates there looking to replace the mayor who's been tapped by the Trump administration. Bill Bossie was nominated by President Trump to serve as the U.S. ambassador to Tunisia.
And still waiting for those votes to come in between Mo Beydoun and Denise Malinowski-Maxwell. We're going to head out to our Jack Springate, who has been there in Dearborn Heights covering this race. What's going on, Jack?
Hey, good evening, Shayna and Terrence. I mean, there's a lot of optimism in this room right now. We're at Mo Beydoun's headquarters, just around the corner from Riverside Middle School, that polling location we've been at all afternoon. And like I said, there's a lot of optimism from voters who cast their ballots for Beydoun, for mayor of Dearborn Heights, but there's also a lot of support coming from the surrounding communities, places like Dearborn, who have known Mo for so long, who are coming here just to show him support on this really important night for him. He's already been appointed to be the acting mayor. That happened in the middle of October, just a couple weeks ago. So he's already had a little bit of experience serving in that mayoral role for the past couple weeks, and he hopes that that will continue for the next 4 years. Now on the other side, there's Denise Malinowski-Maxwell. Her campaign headquarters are actually just hanging out at home. She's keeping it kind of low-key tonight, but she is watching the numbers just as closely as we are. I did just speak with someone who is at City Hall working to count these ballots. She said they just got another batch of absentee ballots, so it is going to be a little bit of more time before we start to see any concrete numbers and start to get an idea of which way this race is going. So I'm going to keep in touch with City Hall as we continue to check in with voters. And a lot of these voters, too, they're talking about the issues that brought them to the polls today that helped make their decision on who to vote for. And one of the things that's consistent between voters who support Malinowski-Maxwell and those who support Beydoun Dune is the need for increased public safety and to empower law enforcement, especially when it comes to the traffic on the roads. I can't tell you how many times I've had people tell me tonight that they're tired of seeing people speeding on the roads here, blowing through stop signs and creating a dangerous environment. That is definitely one of the things that both of these candidates come together on. But right now, everyone in this room is supporting Mo Bay Dune here at the Warren Valley Golf Course. We're going to take another look at the numbers. I'm going to check in with City Hall here shortly. So for now, reporting here in Dearborn Heights, I'm Jack Springate, CBS News Detroit.
Okay, thank you, Jack. I think next we're going to head out to our Elaine Rojas Castillo. She's been at the Solomon Kinloch watch party all night.
Yeah, we have been watching everything that's been playing out there. She's also been able to speak to some of his supporters who were very hopeful that things would have gone in a different direction. Elaine, what can you tell us about what the mood is like there? We just heard from Kinloch, who still remained very positive and hopeful about the future and also his role in supporting his successor. Okay, I think we're still working to get that picture, so we'll work to get that. But again, we did hear from Kinloch, who again is saying that there's still more fight that needs to be done. And even though Mary Sheffield has won by a landslide, he has now vowed to support her as she continues to take over for the city of Detroit.
Yeah, Kinloch has a lot of support. He has a massive congregation spread through campuses around the city and the suburbs as well. I know Elaine actually spoke with him recently, and I believe she's ready now. We're going to head out to Kinloch's headquarters tonight. Hi, Elaine.
Hi, Shane and Terrence. Our apologies. Obviously, the energy, even though, as you mentioned, current City Council President and now Mayor-elect Mary Sheffield didn't win this election fairly decisively, the energy here at the Kinloch campaign is hopeful and joyful. We had the chance to speak to some of his supporters who told us that regardless of the outcome, they were proud to stand behind a man who spoke on their behalf. I also got the chance to speak with Reverend Kinloch, who said that this isn't the end of the journey for him and his supporters. He's willing and able to work with the Sheffield administration to make sure that the issues that his supporters brought up to him don't get lost in the shuffle. Something that really stuck out to me was that all of his supporters came into this evening prepared for whatever came their way, and even though the results didn't go the way they wanted them to, they knew that he was the right guy for them.
Elaine, thanks. Kinloch also just thanked the city of Detroit for giving him a chance to be able to do this. He also talked about the fact that he didn't need a job. He didn't do this for any kind of prestige or anything like that, but he's just happy that he was able to have the chance to fight for this role. But again, the most important part is that he will continue to fight for those changes that he wants to see and to support Mary Sheffield.
Yeah, at the top of those changes he wants to see is making sure that the neighborhoods of Detroit are included in the progress of downtown and midtown. He's really emphasized that a lot throughout this race, and he brought that up again in his concession speech. And he said he's not going to stop until he sees that. So it'll be interesting to see how Mayor-elect Sheffield will balance her promises as well on the campaign trail to really include the rest of the city in that progress.
And that's perhaps one of the things that Mayor Duggan faced in terms of criticism from some of the people in Detroit. Of course, he had a lot of support. We talked with all of the mayoral candidates here on CBS News Detroit. We still have that for you streaming on our website, cbsdetroit.com, so go check it out. But a lot of people talked about the fact that there seemed to be so much concentration on downtown Detroit and some of those other neighborhoods that still need that attention and need to be upgraded and changed, sometimes feel forgotten. Even though there are some programs in place to focus on those areas, there seems to be a lot of focus on the downtown area.
Yeah, and Mayor-elect Sheffield, a daughter of Detroit herself, has made those promises to make sure everyone's included, but also is backed by a lot of major corporate donors, a lot of developers. So it's going to be interesting to see how she balances those allegiances and tries to kind of keep everybody happy.
Yeah, and to keep the momentum going because of course, we talked about the fact that Detroit looked like a much different city many, many years ago, was riddled with controversy in different areas, and we've really been able to change the narrative and the way people see the city of Detroit. So, of course, anyone who takes over in this role is going to want to continue that same positive change.
Yeah, that's been so true in the past few years, especially those major events like the NFL draft a year or two ago, and just being in the national spotlight. You've heard the comments. This is an incredible time for Detroit, and I think people far outside of the city do see that. So it's a huge moment. It's a make or break moment to continue that progress and make sure that doesn't slow down.
Yeah, perhaps a little bit of pressure for her, although we've talked to Sheffield as well, who says that she is ready for the challenge. She's ready to keep that positive change going. But you are right, there have been so many different things that have happened here in the city of Detroit to just change the way the rest of the world looks at this city and the way some major events look at this city when it comes to choosing a venue or backdrop to come to, and businesses as well. Of course, businesses changing the economy here.
And again, we are standing by waiting for the mayor-elect to take this stage. I believe she's going to soon.
Yes, we're hoping to hear from her. She has still not been able to get to the stage. She's been working her way through talking to some of the media that is out there.
And good evening to our viewers just joining us over the air. We've been talking about historic news in the city of Detroit, where City Council President Mary Sheffield has been projected the next mayor of Detroit.
And we see her there making her way to the stage, hugging some of her supporters. They've been there throughout the night. Alicia Bergio has been there all evening, talking with some of those supporters and just taking in the sights and sounds, the excitement. This is what a lot of them thought would happen. And of course, they are excited to see the end result is something that they were hoping for.
A historic moment for this city. Mary Sheffield becomes the first woman to lead Detroit and the first woman of color, just adding to her list of first. She was the first 26-year-old elected to the city council more than a decade ago, and this is just her latest sort of incredible feat in her career at a relatively young age.
An incredible career, to say the least. I'm pretty sure there'll be a movie about her at some point. There have been a lot of firsts, a lot of changes, and the fact that she's been able to win by such a huge number in both this race and also in the primary really speaks volumes to the fact that the city is ready to embrace that change under her leadership. The first time that we're able to say her leadership in terms of that role here in Detroit.
It is a big change, but then in many ways, people will see this as consistency. She is not synonymous, but very closely connected to Mayor Duggan. He endorsed her in this race, and a lot of people hope that she will continue the success that the city has seen in the last 12 years under Mayor Duggan.
She also got the endorsement of some of the other candidates who were able to get out of the race a little bit sooner, but still, it just shows that a lot of people do believe in the message that she is preaching and what she hopes to see from the city. Of course, Mayor Sheffield, now the projected winner for the city of Detroit. Huge role. A woman has never had this role. She's about to speak now.
We're going to listen in.
Good evening, Detroit. Wow. Detroit, we did it. We did it. Detroit, you showed up, you showed out, you stood strong and raised your voices towards a future that we all can believe in. And when some said that it couldn't be done, when some said that it was not the time, Detroit, you said, together we can. Together we will. And tonight, together we did. This needs to be moved over some. Tonight, this victory belongs to all of us. Detroit, you have spoken loud and clear from every corner of this city. That's right, thank you. And I am reminded tonight that all things are possible to the one who believes. As I stand here as your mayor-elect, I want to first extend my deepest gratitude to the residents of this great city. You all have welcomed me into your homes, your neighborhoods. Where else? That's right, everywhere, all throughout this city. And I would never forget the memories and the times that we've shared throughout this campaign. Thank you for your support, your prayers, your trust, and your confidence, and for believing in a vision that we share for this great city. To every Detroiter that is watching tonight, whether you voted for me or not, I am here to listen to you, to fight for you, and to serve you. Because at the end of the day, we all want the same thing. A Detroit that works for everyone. For everyone. This journey was not walked alone. There are so many incredible people who have shaped this moment and walked alongside me. First, to my family, to my father, who has always instilled strength and faith in me, to my 88-year-old grandmother, she came out of retirement just to come help me on the campaign. So we thank her for her wisdom and her grace that she has given this campaign. And for my beautiful mother, who is no longer with us, but watches over me and guides my steps daily. And to all of my family that is here today, thank you for grounding me, shaping me, and loving me into this very moment. To the best campaign team on the planet. The best and the brightest, you all worked with heart, with grit, and brilliance. And I am deeply grateful for each and every one of you all. To my campaign manager, Chris Scott. Danielle Elamine. Taylor Harrell. Rayshawn Sanders. David Bowser. And we had the best field game, I'm just saying. Led by John Clark and Chantel Watkins. And I have to thank Molly Goldberg, who helped lead the finance for this campaign. To our campaign chair, Ricardo Solomon. To Dennis Archer, a special advisor who's always been there for me as well. To Greg and Linda Mathis, who are not here today, but they have been here the entire campaign. Let's give it up for Judge Mathis and his wife. To the women chairs of our Women Coalition, Shar Goolsby and Monica Anthony. Sharon Madison, and my brothers, who always keep me lifted. To Ferry Brent, Daryl Woods, and Danny Harandi. There are so many people that I can thank tonight, but I want you all to know that this would not have happened without each and every one of you all. To the tireless volunteers, coalition leaders, union leaders, faith leaders, and every single person who took the time to knock doors, pass out flyers, make phone calls, whispered your prayers of support, and poured your heart into this victory. You carried this campaign forward, and we are forever grateful. This victory belongs to all of us. So over the past 330 days, we've built more than a campaign, we built a movement. A movement that has proven that we are stronger when we all stand together as one Detroit. I've seen it on the east side, the west side, and every block in between. Neighbors that are organizing block by block. Our small businesses that are lifting up our communities. And our young people who are demanding a future that they can believe in. This is the spirit of our city, the spirit that carried us here to this moment in Detroit. Let's not forget who we are. We are a city of innovators, of champions, of change makers. We put the world on wheels. We created the Motown sound. We built the nation's first public highway. We powered the arsenal of democracy. And from these Detroit streets, came freedom. From the Underground Railroad to the fight for civil rights. This is the home of the labor movement. The birthplace of America's middle class. And nearly 60 years ago, my grandfather, Horace Sheffield Jr., stood on the front lines during the Walk to Freedom, demanding jobs, dignity, and justice for every Detroiter. And now, almost 6 decades later, his granddaughter stands right here. Ready, equipped, and prepared to continue that fight for all Detroiters. Detroit, this is the great spirit of our city, a spirit that is alive and well tonight, which is why I know that we will rise higher. And so tonight, our city adds another chapter to its great history. Throughout Detroit's 324-year history, 75 mayors have led this city. Not one has been a woman. But tonight, Detroit, we know that changes. And you changed it, Detroit. So as I reflect on my journey, it all started with the belief that my parents had in me. They reminded me again and again that no mountain was too high for their daughter to climb. No dream was too big. And I think back to that 8-year-old girl from the west side of Detroit, whose 3rd grade teacher at the time, Mrs. Pappas, she wrote on my evaluation that she saw a gift in her, a gift for leading others. And that little girl's life from that moment on will continue to be shaped by service. And so she dared to dream that she too could make a difference in this city. And tonight, she stands here proudly as the first woman ever elected to lead this great city. And now I have the awesome responsibility of ensuring that I will not be the last. Will not be the last. I don't take for granted that I stand on the shoulders of so many warrior women who have prayed, who have sacrificed, just for us to be here in this moment. A torch carried from one generation to the next. And so I say to every little girl watching tonight, and to every child in this city, never doubt yourself. You are gifted. You are powerful. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. No mountain is too high for you to climb. No dream is too big for you to realize. And if you believe and truly believe, all things are possible. So tonight, Detroit, we step forward together in this next great chapter. And I've heard you loud and clear. Detroit, throughout this campaign, don't forget about the neighborhoods. And I'm going to tell you that we won't. Together, we will invest in every corner of our city. Rebuilding our neighborhoods, investing in our commercial corridors. Every family will feel supported. Every child will have a path to reach their full potential. And every resident will have access to transit that they can count on. We'll work tirelessly to ensure the safety of our communities, block by block. Focusing in on prevention first, strengthening community and police relations, and treating gun violence like the public health crisis that it is. We'll guarantee safe and affordable housing for every Detroiter, increasing access to home repairs, creating opportunities for home ownership, and achieving real property tax reform for our residents. We'll champion our small businesses, giving them access to capital and stability to grow and stay in their homes, and stay rooted here in Detroit. And we'll make Detroit the best place in America to grow and start a business. We'll be more involved in our educational system, creating coordinated transportation, increasing after-school programs, and providing wraparound services so that every child can succeed. Because we know that when our youth rise, Detroit rises. In this administration, everyone will have a seat at the table. From our block clubs, to our nonprofits, to our faith institutions, to our unions, and the voices of our most vulnerable. Because guess what? This city belongs to all of us. All of us. And it will take all of us working together in unity and in love in order for us to truly rise higher. Generations ago, it was right here in Detroit where our grandmothers and grandfathers came to build lives of dignity and pride, to find good paying jobs, buy homes, raise families, and imagine a better tomorrow. They saw Detroit as a destination city, a world-class city. That has always been the promise and the hope of this city. And we will, Detroit, continue to march boldly towards that promise once again. So tonight, we will celebrate this historic and monumental victory. But tomorrow, we know we go to work. Shoulder to shoulder with our city council, with our regional partners, with our civic and business community, with our labor family, and most importantly, with each and every one of you all. Because the work now begins. The work of rebuilding our neighborhoods, creating great jobs, lifting every Detroiter out of poverty, attracting and retaining our young people in this city, and reclaiming Detroit as its rightful place among the world's greatest cities. Together, we made history, Detroit. Together, we will build a brighter future. Together, we will rise higher. Thank you, Detroit. I love you all. God bless you. Let's finish the work.
Come on, sing it.
When I close my eyes, I think of you and reminisce on all the things you do. I can't imagine my life without you. It's like paradise now. I know that it's real. It's a mystery for someone to give their life just for me.
Come on.
What you did on Calvary makes me wanna love you
Watch
more.
this.
A historic victory in the city of Detroit. Sheffield addressing the crowd for the first time as the mayor-elect, making history in the city as the first woman to now lead this city going forward. She extended her gratitude to the locals and all the people who have worked with her to help make this happen. We're joined by political expert Aaron Call from University of Michigan. We've been watching everything that she's had to say. Aaron, what are your thoughts on this huge landslide win that she has had and made history now for something that is just amazing for the city to be able to say we've done?
Yeah, monumental night, 75 previous mayors, first woman of color, and you saw the jubilation on the stage. It's really tough thing for her to do tonight because she needs to name check and thank all of her supporters. It's been a year-long campaign, as she mentioned, but immediately the work starts. She didn't kind of specify the things, but she's going to be mayor-elect and really needs to hit the ground running. And there's going to be some election results tonight from the city council races. And so that's going to be really important to get those relationships with the new members to hit the ground running when she starts in January.
Yeah, she has been working hard. She says she's been campaigning for 330 days now, but the work really just starts now. Of course, she still has to continue as the city council president. She spoke about some of the things that she wants to do for the city, and she thanked the people who voted for her and those who didn't, but said regardless, we all want the same thing, which is a better Detroit. Just in terms of what she's able to bring to the table with that experience in the role that she has had, How is that going to help her, especially for the people who maybe didn't necessarily vote for her?
Well, most did, so that's not as tough as some other candidates may have. But I mean, has the experience, 12 years in the council, being the president, and that relationship and the back and forth is going to be real integral in getting the agenda passed, funding secured, and so she has a really good start there. And yeah, she has that experience. She has the partnerships with the business community, really good relationships. The Chamber of Commerce endorsed her, and so she has every tool in the toolbox that's needed, and just a landslide historical victory. I mean, approaching 77, 78% now. That's something that current mayor Mike Duggan did not even approach in 2000 in the last two elections, and so she's shattered even the big polling expectations, which will give her a tremendous amount of political capital in the first few months of her administration.
We've been talking about the fact that she has such a rich political history. Her grandfather, Horace Sheffield Jr., for working in the city for the civil rights movement, and also her father, Horace Sheffield III, just coming from that kind of legacy and being able to continue the momentum and continue to make history through that family. How does that speak volumes as well, just to her rich legacy?
Yeah, I mean, she has really the perfect biography and combination, both the church, politics. She talked about Mayor Archer and some prominent judges and other people that have helped her, and all of those endorsements and the campaign fundraising and everything. She really had a great benefit, but she also wants to kind of take that to the next level, and talked about all the how that's helped her kind of get where she is. But now it's going to be her own tools and unique personality, not the past, to get the things she wants accomplished, to work with others, to get cooperation both from a state and national perspective. And so she's really have to find her own self now and differentiate herself a little bit, both from Mayor Duggan and her family, to chart her own path to be the most successful she could be.
Are you surprised at all that she won by such a huge landslide both times?
Yes, I mean, the second time was even more impressive than the August primary. I mean, she had maybe 51% in a very large field, 7 candidates, and at that time, Solomon Kinloch was at about 17%. He only increased his share 5% from August, even though it's now just a 2-person race. So I think it was dogged determination, campaigning, the debate, the forums that existed. She was everywhere. She was omnipresent, and so it was hard work for the entire campaign, and that really paid off. Just how many votes that she achieved, and she's going to start with a really big base of support. But if she doesn't follow through with some of her promises, her voters are going to hold her accountable for that.
And we see that she is really getting so much support. So many people are so happy for her. What does she need to do now in order to maintain that support, and so that people, even though she won by such huge numbers, don't change their tune in terms of her now taking over?
Yeah, generally you do get a little bit of a grace period for a few months, and so she's going to have some time, but people are going to want results. The things that she talked about, tax relief, more affordable housing, violence prevention, the things that she specified, making sure those happen. Some you can kind of do on your own, others you'll need the cooperation of the council. Sometimes the funding is involved, even at higher levels, so making sure that happens. I think her relationship with Solomon Kinloch will be important. We saw his concession speech earlier, and he sounded like he was going to be a willing partner and to reach out. He's still 22% as of now did vote for him, so he has that constituency. If they could form a partnership, I think that'd be good. Getting good relationship with the new members of the council. There will likely be at least 2 tonight because of the vacant positions. So making sure that's the case. She probably doesn't need to decide how involved she wants to become. Is she going to endorse someone maybe to replace her as the head of the council? We have some very important elections coming up in Michigan in the next year. The gubernatorial, Senate level, all the open positions. Is she going to make endorsements there? Having a strategic point maybe to distance herself a little bit from Mayor Duggan. He's obviously going to be running in one of those elections for governor, so how's she going to make an endorsement there, or that'll be a big thing. So a lot's going to happen in the next year, and she has a lot of different avenues and ways to differentiate herself and make some really important calls, but she's going to have to really rely upon her instincts, everything that's brought her to this point.
Yeah, and Kinloch has said that he also wants to work with her, as you mentioned, and it really speaks to the message that she said that she has too for voters, especially again like the ones who didn't vote for her, about unity and coming together and all of us having a vision for Detroit and supporting the city. So when it comes to that, what kind of message does that send that they're both willing to work with each other moving forward?
Yeah, no, it's a great start because it was a bitter campaign, and there was accusations hurled in both directions. The debate was contentious, especially the last few days of the election. So the fact that as of right now that relationship is still as where it is a very good sign. And I think they both do want the same thing. They pointed out some of the issues, poverty, gun violence, affordability, all those things. They just had some different ways and nuances of how to best approach it. So, and also making sure it's always not about them kind of personally, but about those people they speak so eloquently about that they meet on the campaign trail. So making sure that everything they do is always with them first in mind is important, but is a partnership, a team would really help expedite things and get things done.
Even though she has so much support, do you think that there is any pressure for her to do a good job?
Definitely, because she's following such a successful mayor. Mike Duggan came in at probably the worst possible time for Detroit with the bankruptcy, and just there was no optimism and everything that existed. And he did a great job. He was kind of the right person at the perfect time, and has had a great track record, has very high approval rating. Things are, people think, while the job's not done, things are moving in a positive direction. And so those are big shoes to fill. And so yes, she does come up with these expectations. And because the margin of the victory was so large, even than expected, then that will add to her what's expected of her, and maybe at a quicker pace even than is humanly possible.
Yeah, a huge margin, and also those numbers came in so quickly. We are watching a lot of other races here tonight too that are happening and coming in. Those numbers still coming in. Let's bring our Terrell Bailey, who's keeping an eye on some of the other things that we are watching tonight. Terrell? All right, thank you, Terrell. So we do have, again, a lot of races that we are watching. The chair of the Michigan Democratic Party, Curtis Hertel, released a statement reading in part, "With her win, thousands of children in Detroit can now see themselves reflected in the city's leadership in the way that they have never imagined before." He goes on to read that Mary Sheffield is a fighter and that he knows that she will stand up for working families and their children every single day. As the mayor, the city is lucky to have her in place. Now, our Alicia Bergio is out there at the campaign party. She is watching everything that has been happening. We've been checking in with her throughout the night. A lot of excitement out there. Alicia, what is it like right now?
This room right now. People are high, people are excited. We have a new mayor-elect, the first female in the city of Detroit to become the mayor of Detroit. Mayor-elect Sheffield, she took the stage not long ago, about 10, 15 minutes ago, to really embrace her supporters, her family, everybody that is here rooting for her. And obviously she's taking it all in, just very humbled by this exciting announcement. And you can see here we have a lot going on here. But yes, everybody, this race was called very early. She is looking so forward to what comes next. She said, obviously, this is a time for us to celebrate today, but tomorrow they get to work. But I'm going to send things back to you in studio. Reporting live in Detroit, Alicia Bergio, CBS News Detroit.
All right, thank you, Alicia. Again, a lot of excitement there. We have our political analyst, Aaron Call, here with us. Of course, we're going to continue the conversation with everything that is happening with this historic win for the city of Detroit. We'll have that for you on CBS News Detroit at 11. Also, you can get us on our website, cbsdetroit.com, the CBS News app, and Pluto TV.